What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. We've got some day 3 left tackles to get through here. Keep in mind that as we've gotten down into this group, we're going to run into some guys who may very well move positions in the NFL, but we're looking at them in this group. Just understand that things get very murky when you're talking about a day 3 left tackle. Because, quite frankly, often a day 3 left tackle won't be able to make it in the NFL, but maybe he could as a left guard or a right tackle or a center even. Something to keep in mind. All right, so first guy is going to be Javon Foster of Missouri. Couldn't find his age. 6'5.5", 313 pounds, long arms, 34 and 5/8, 9 and 5/8 hands. Combine testing, the vert was really good, but other than that, it was just okay, passable, decent, workable. Big boards mostly put him in the 4th. PFF puts him in the 5th. Aggregate has him right about the back end of the 4th. 2 pretty good years in a row. He did give up 4 sacks and a grand total of 16 QB pressures in 2022. Improved. Only allowed 1 sack and a total of 13 QB pressures in 2023, but pretty much all of them were just quarterback hurries, which is far more mitigatable. So for a tackle you can get on day 3, he's got really nice arm length. 34 and 5/8 is no joke. He gets out of his stance quickly and shoots right into his pass rush snaps, so he's not somebody who you're going to get the jump on. He's not somebody who's going to be the last guy out of his stance. He's got a strong mirror game. He's good at mirroring pass rushers, staying in front of them, and keeping up with what they're doing. He's proven himself capable of blocking in space in the Missouri system, so it is something that he's comfortable doing. Laying blocks at the second level even, laying the backside blocks. He's high football IQ in terms of how he handles blitzes. He understands how to pick up pressure. He understands how to change the way he's playing in order to adjust for what the defense might be throwing at you on any particular play. And because he is 6'5.5", he could add a little more muscle if he needs to, which he may need to. So worth keeping in mind that he does have that bigger frame. Now, he is currently not very strong, which is why I point that out. He needs to add some strength here. Right now, he's going to get bullied. He's going to get bull rushed. He's not going to be very useful in the run game unless he's doing like duo blocks and stuff like that, combo blocks. Probably still not an ideal fit in zone. Like, he can do it because Missouri had him do it at times, but he's not that good at it. He's just he's just pretty okay at it, and he's never going to be an ideal fit for it. Doesn't get leverage the way you need to. You need to get a little bit lower, get underneath the player's pads. So, got to learn, got to get better. Generally speaking, him moving in space looks choppy and a little bit awkward. And he has a tendency to leave the inside open. Like he's trying to get to the edge, protect the outside, protect against speed. And if you hit him with the inside move after trying to get to the outside, you can get to the quarterback. So that is something that he struggles a little bit with. They call it oversetting in your pass sets. So there are some holes here for sure. And he's ultimately, at the end of the day, not the athlete that you're typically looking for at the position here. But I do think if he gains some muscle, if he puts on some muscle, he'll be workable. Because his pass rush sets aren't bad at all. In fact, I think they're quite good. I think that generally speaking, he protects well against speed. If he can just add a little bit of muscle, I do think he'll be a capable starter down the line. Now, that has to happen, and he does have to fix some problems in his game, but I'd say I'd put round 4 value on him. Now, I don't know if Seattle should, because he's not a great fit for zone, so maybe he should be like a, I don't know. You could find a team. You could find a team where a guy like this fits. A team that just wants to do things straightforward, like maybe the Niners to a certain extent. Maybe a team like the Niners, a run-heavy team. But I don't know about Seattle. All right, next guy is going to be Walter Rouse of Oklahoma, the Sooners. Could not find his age. 6'6", 313 pounds, 35 and an eighth inch arms, 10 and an eighth inch hands. So NFL caliber size for sure as a left tackle. Big boards put him around the 5th or the 6th, more or less, right around that range. Database puts him around the 6th, which I think is a fairly reasonable expectation. He had a nice year last year. Only allowed 6 total QB pressures and 0 sacks after having a not so great year in 2022, so made some positive strides towards being an NFL caliber player. So the thing that stands out with Walter Rouse off the jump is that he's looks like an NFL tackle. He's not small. He's got long arms. 35 and an eighth is no joke at all. In fact, it's actually really good even by the standards of the best tackles. I think he was a 4-year starter at Oklahoma. Has a lot of experience playing college football. Lateral agility is pretty good. Allows him to stick with pass rushers. He's got a good football IQ. He's somebody who you can throw exotic pressure packages at, twists and stunts and stuff like that, and he's going to pick it up. So, smart player. And he's workable when he plays in space. I think mainly if you're going to have him play in space, you mostly want him to hit backside blocks where he starts on the left side and then just peels back across the line of scrimmage to the right side to lay a backside block. You don't really want him climbing up to the second level so much, but he is capable of doing some stuff playing in space. It's not great, but it works. Now, he doesn't have the strength and he doesn't have the solid frame to be able to hold up against bull rushers. Bull rushers are going to eat him up, which is why you got to leave him on the left side right now for the moment. He's got to play on the left because that's where the speed is. The speedier edge rushers will still toast him, by the way. I think his mirror is pretty good and his lateral agility is good, but the speedier guys out there, like the really good edge rushers, are going to still toast him. So his placement with his hands is all over the place, and he's never going to be a great move blocker. So you can kind of see the shortcomings, right? Bull rushers will get him, and while he's okay against typical edge rusher speed, the speedier guys are going to just whoop him. So you're left with a guy who really isn't all that much, right? He looks the part. He's got long arms, and those long arms do help him a little bit, but you're not getting anything that's like upper level here. So I'd like to see Walter Rouse add a little bit of size and strength here, add some muscle, and maybe try his hand at the right side. On the right side, strength matters a little bit more because you're run blocking more and you're going up against typically the more bull rushy edge players. So I'd like to see him add muscle. He's got the frame for it, and then maybe make the move to the right side. So I think he can make it in the league at left, but I don't think that's where he should ultimately find himself. I'd take him in the 6th round and move him to right tackle and see what's up there. So not bad, but definitely looking for better, especially in this offense. Like, I don't even think I'd use a 6th round pick on him in this offense because of what we need. But objectively speaking, in a vacuum, 6th round is okay. All right, next guy is going to be Julian Pearl of the Illinois Fighting Illini. Julian Pearl. Couldn't find his age. Good size, though. 6'6", 312. Long arms again, 35 and an eighth. So these edge players, these tackle players in this draft, these left tackles, they got long arms. 10 and a quarter inch hands. Big boards, there's a little bit of the 4th, but there's also, we got some 6th, we've got some undrafted. The aggregate puts him right at the front end of the 7th, so he's barely draftable, according to the experts. And he's gotten whipped the last 2 years. Over the last 2 years, he has allowed a total of 12 sacks, 6 hits, and 27 QB hurries. Excuse me. So that's a grand total of, 45 QB pressures? That's about as bad as I've seen. Not that he's been playing awful or anything overall, but it's hard to get past numbers like that. So he's had a rough time of it. Now, he does look the part. He's got the build, he's got the size, he's got the length. He looks like an NFL left tackle for sure. And he does use his long arms pretty well. Very difficult to get around him because his arms are just so long. He's going to be able to catch up to you. His lateral agility is good for pass rush mirroring, I think. He looks good moving in space to throw blocks as well, so I do think he'd be a pretty good zone fit. His fatal flaw is that he doesn't really have strength. He's not strong enough to hold up against the stronger defensive players. He's going to get bull rushed a lot, and that's where he gives up a lot of the stuff that he gives up, it feels like. So that's going to be, even at the left tackle position, it's a problem. He looks pretty good in space. but sometimes it seems like he misses his target when he's trying to land a move block, so he's got to learn that. He's got to get better at that. There's a lot of whiffing, a lot of guys quickly slide off of him. And the way he plays, he's probably going to get a lot of holding calls. I think that he gets grabby when he loses technique, and that's going to be a problem. So I think if he adds muscle, he could become an NFL caliber player. Not a starter, but a backup. I think he belongs in the league if he can add a little bit of muscle and make it so he's not getting abused by bull rushers and strength players. So if he can do that, I think that he's worth taking in the 7th round. I wouldn't go before then because the numbers are bad. He's got a lot that he needs to get better at. There's some stuff that isn't going to get better in all likelihood. Like, I don't know if he'll ever be able to land move blocks the way you need to. But a 7th round pick is okay. All right, so that's it for this first crop of day 3 left tackles. We're going to do one more video a little later today, and then we'll be all educated on the left tackles in this draft. So let me know what you think of these 3, if anything. I understand we're getting down to the point where there isn't a ton to say, but I want us to be as informed as possible. All right, I will see you guys later. Go Hawks. Let me know what's up, and another video coming in a couple hours.